I think Carl basically is that person that we kind of hate in ourselves, but at the same time we love the fact that he has the boldness to be himself, and also to be not caring about social rules, and not caring about how I should behave in terms of making people comfortable and making people care about you, and and actually be loved in general. I think he just takes what he needs, and in some regard I think that everyone else would love to be that person once in a while. But we also accept the fact that if we were that person, we would die lonely and miserable, and therefore we are not. But in a way, that's why I think I like Carl the most. Happily for him, and luckily for him, he has Assad, who's like he's like the mirror to him, for Carl, who actually says to him, that might be your perception of life. Maybe things would be different if you changed a bit. And that's so important, of course. Nihilistic, nihilistic, definitely. But the whole theme, this story is circling around all the time is whether you respect others' beliefs and faiths. I think this is the most important, lesson of this movie. That you have to accept that, and you have to respect that maybe this is your perception of how to live your life, but you can't possibly comprehend how important it is to other people to have the need of faith and something to believe in. Right. I think a good story has a point. And it comes down to, even if it's a mainstream film, I think if there's a point behind the good story, in this case a thriller, which is like pretty straight down the road, I think it's perfect. It's going to be a perfect story if you can just push the envelope just a notch and say, what if your perception of life was different? And that's the good thing about having two characters as Carl and Assad that has this discussion, because it is really a conservative way of thinking, where you like what you have, you like that things are almost not stagnating, but at least that you know what you have, and you don't want to have shaken up your views and your perception of this world you're living in. And somebody else asks you, what if things were different? That is also why it's a very good thing to have kids, because they will always force you to have different views, even though you don't like it.